Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you've had a good day so far. We're not playing Curse of Straw tonight, so we decided we'd play another Ella and Simon ChatGPT as a DM game. So, if you like this content, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe because we don't know when we're playing these until about maybe 2 hours beforehand. So, if you subscribe, you'll know when we're playing. You'll be able to catch up on everything. I've got some music going. Alexander Nakarada again. All right.
Let's dive in, bounty hunters. The dark is breathing. Opening scene. The hollow below. You've tracked the bounty. Calidus Thrin, escaped convict, serial killer, and presumed dead, to a cracked shaft in the lower deep, farther than most sane folk dare go. The air tastes like rust and old bone. Your notes said he was last seen boarding an illegal myconid caravan into the lower veins. But by the time you got here, the caravan was a twisted mess of fungal corpses and spore drenched wreckage. No Calidus, but something worse. The bounty was flayed and hung in an impossible way, like gravity got confused. And now? The cave's different than it was an hour ago. Your maps don't match. Your lights dim for no reason. You hear your names whispered from holes too small for mouths. Pick your point of entry. Here are three cursed tunnels. You only need to choose one, but each choice changes the tone of what's to come. Think of them as different flavors of descent into madness. 1. The Chime Creep Warrens. Echoing, claustrophobic, infested with living sound.
Can you turn it up?
Basalt and pulsing mineral veins, where every step rings like a bell. The deeper you go, the more the sound stacks. Footsteps echo a
Step
beat
all the
too late.
way.
Voices loop from nowhere. It said something lives in the echoes, learning your words. Eventually, it speaks back. Themes, auditory hallucinations, mimicry, sound based terror, hazard, noise attracts predators. Secret, there's a song being hummed by the walls. If you hum along, doors open. Nunner 2, Veil of the Bleeding Root, organic tunnels wrapped in fungal tissue and massive roots dripping crimson sap. This tunnel is wet, it pulses. Red liquid trickles like tears from fibrous, root choked walls. Ella might feel something familiar here, whispers in her Kembe blood. Maybe her people once came from this place. Maybe they never left. Themes, ancestral memory, psychic intrusion, the forest beneath. Hazard, breathing too deep here leads to visions, some not yours. Secret, something is buried at the root heart, something hungry. 3. Pale vaults, geometric stonework carved by hands long dead or never alive. Perfectly square corridors, floors of white chalk stone etched with spiral runes. The dust never settles here, and the air is colder than it should be. Someone's cleaning the floors when you aren't looking. The doors lock when no one's watching. Themes, isolation, architectural mindfuckery, time slippage. Hazard, memory gaps begin to occur. Secret, one of you may already be a part of the vault, a construct left to keep it sealed. You tell me, which cursed hole are we crawling into first? Then I'll hit you with what you see, what you feel, and what's waiting in the dark that knows your names.
You got a choice. I was thinking the Pale Vaults.
Sounds good.
Okay. We choose Tunnel 3, the Pale Vaults.
You descend into the pale vaults, and something closes behind you that was never open. The tunnel chokes off into a narrow descent, carved stone too smooth, too perfect. Every angle is clean, unnatural. The light from your lantern flickers strangely against the chalk white walls, like the shadows refuse to lie still. Your footsteps make no sound, not because of any spell, because there's no echo. The stone eats noise like it's hungry. You step through an archway of calcified bone white stone and you both feel it, a soft snap, like a thread breaking inside your minds. Something is off. You notice dust motes dancing in your torchlight until you realize they're not drifting randomly. They're repeating a pattern, like watching someone's breath in reverse. Ella, your fingers itch. Your thieves' tools rattle in your pouch. You've picked this lock before. You've walked this hallway before. That glyph on the left wall, wasn't it behind you? At the end of the corridor is a doorless arch. But across the floor just beyond it, a spiral of carved chalk runes spreads out like a warding circle or a summoning sign. At the center lies a pile of torn cloth and human teeth. Something skitters along the ceiling, gone before you can look. Then, just past the spiral, a body, propped like a mannequin against the wall. Head tilted, eyes gone, mouth open in a silent scream. A tattoo on its neck reads, Property of the surface, return if found. There's a metal box clutched in its hand, bolted shut, cold, heavy, scratched. What do you do? Investigate the glyphs? Cross the spiral runes? Examine the metal box? Check the body? Or get the fuck out of here? Let me know what Simon and Ella are doing. And if either of you wants to make a check, tell me what and roll it.
I'd like to inspect the body first.
Ella wants to inspect the body first.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm in the middle of doing laundry.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Ella approaches the corpse, light footed, trained, but there's a tightness in her chest. The closer she gets, the more the details go wrong. The body is dressed like a scout, light leathers, tools on a belt, a cracked lantern hanging at the hip. But the skin is perfectly dry, not desiccated, powdered, like he's been slowly bleeding dust. The mouth is stretched impossibly wide. The eye sockets are smooth inside, like whatever took the eyes was careful. The tattoo is fresh, black ink, no scabbing, no signs of age. It's written in common, but the style? Identical to Ella's own handwriting. The box is clutched to the chest. The dead man's fingers are locked in rigor, but you can wrench it free with a little effort. It's about the size of a thick spell book. No lock, just four sliding metal latches. No visible traps. Ella, you can make a medicine check to learn more about the body, or a thieves' tools check. Dex. To open the box carefully. What does Ella want to do next?
First medicine check. Uh,
First, she wants to make a medicine check to learn more about the body. Anything else?
and then I'm going to try and open the box. Check it for traps.
Then she will check the box for traps before opening it.
I got a 16 on my medicine check.
Okay. You got a what?
16.
Okay.
That's a solid roll. Ella gets plenty. Ella's autopsy, rogue style up close, and with sharp eyes, Ella sees what a butcher would miss. The mouth wasn't stretched, the jaw was dislocated, cleanly and deliberately. Whatever did it didn't want to eat him, it wanted to open him. The skin is coated in ultrafine white dust, but it's not decay, it's ground chalk, deliberately rubbed into every pore. Why? No clue. But this was ritualistic. There are no visible wounds, no blood, just dust. But when she rolls the body slightly, she sees that the spine is gone, entirely removed through a precise incision along the back, sealed afterward, neatly stitched with wire. The corpse is too intact, too artful. This wasn't a kill, it was a message. Now that her nerves are humming, she moves to the box. Thieves' tools, trap check, roll a thieves' tools check for Ella using Dex plus proficiency. With her stats, that's plus 5 total. Let me know what you roll.
All right. So roll a dex check and add 5 to it.
All right.
Wow. Ella. Ella rolls a 25 on the thieves.
Hot damn. Ella doesn't just check the box, she diagnoses its soul. Trap check 25. Critical rogue shit. The moment her gloved fingers brush the first latch, her instincts kick in hard. There's no poison, no mechanical dart, no explosive glyph, but there is a trap. It's conceptual. Each latch isn't just a physical mechanism, it's linked to something arcane, psychic, subtle. Not a standard school of magic. Older, maybe even alien. She sees it because she's Kembe. Her blood sings when a lock speaks in riddles. Her tools whisper across the box and tell her this. If you open this without being known, something else will take your place. It's not an alarm, it's a swap. The box is watching. It wants to be opened, but not by just anyone. Ella can disarm the psychic latch. DC 20, roll again. Open it anyway, accepting the unknown consequences. Hand it to Simon. The box may react differently. Leave it the fuck alone. What's her next move?
I'm going to hand it to you.
Okay. Ella will hand it to Simon, who will inspect it.
Ella holds the box out to Simon, and for just a second, it feels heavier in her hands, like it doesn't want to leave her. But the moment Simon takes it, the box reacts. The metal chills in Simon's hands. Not cold, hungry. Each latch clicks once. Not open, just ready. It recognizes him. There's a faint grinding, like stone on bone, as etched spirals begin to rise from the surface of the box, glowing faintly blue. Simon doesn't feel threatened. It's like it's saying, you are the bearer. Open, and the path remembers. Whatever this thing is, it's bound to him now. Not cursed, but interested. Simon can now open the box with advantage on any checks related to it. Try an Arcana check, int +5, to understand what this thing is before opening. Ask Ella to step back in case the box is messy. Wait, and just hold it. What does Simon want to do next?
I think I'm going to ask Ella to step back and try an Arcana check.
That's fine.
Simon will ask Ella to step back, and then he wants to roll an Arcana check.
Simon narrows his eyes, that analytical glint flaring behind them. He tells Ella to step back, calm but firm. This doesn't feel dangerous yet, but something tells him it will be if he rushes. He kneels, box balanced on a chalky slab, and starts tracing the rising spiral glyphs with a calligrapher's precision. Arcana check Simon's bonus is +5. Roll that d20 and tell me the result. Let's see what secrets this bastard box wants to whisper.
It's good to see it cussing when I asked for a rated R.
That's cool.
22. Simon rolled a 22.
Oh shit, with a 22, Simon doesn't just understand the box, he sees through it. Arcana success, the Pale Vault's core truth. The glyphs aren't just spell work. They're sure moons designed to pin an identity in a place that erases it. This box was built in the Pale Vaults, maybe by the vaults themselves, as a failsafe against the forgetting. A tether to self. It watches the bearer. If the bearer opens it while they still know who they are, the box reveals truth. But if someone tries to open it after the vaults have scrambled them, it doesn't show them truth. It replaces them. Simon understands. Opening it now is safe. If he had waited too long, or if Ella had forced it, it would have erased one of them. The box is a memory key, a checkpoint, a breadcrumb left for someone on a loop. With this insight, Simon can open the box. Do you want him to do it now?
Yeah, I think I'll open the box.
Yay.
Simon opens the box. The final latch clicks. The lid doesn't hinge open, it slides upward, impossibly smooth, like it's phasing through reality. The glow from the glyphs pulses once, like a heartbeat, and the interior is revealed. Inside is a blood-stained journal page written in tight, slanted script. Familiar. It's Simon's handwriting, but he's never written this. The page reads, Second Descent. Ella still remembers me. I think. Vault won't hold long. If you're reading this, you're not the first you. Get her out. Don't trust the echoes. Burn the teeth. At the bottom, in red, not ink, but blood, is a symbol. A spiral with a dot at the center and lines like rays pointing outward. It's the same symbol carved into the runes you stepped over when you entered. Also inside the box, a single molar, blackened, but pulsing faintly with blue light, warm to the touch. A thin metal key etched with the word false door. And then you both hear it. A voice, faint, echoing from down the corridor. Your voice, Simon. But wrong. Flat. Like it's learning how to be you. Ella, I think I found the way out. Come see. What the hell do Simon and Ella do next?
Well, if I think I found a way out.
It's an echo. It's not real.
Oh, okay.
And I don't understand burn the teeth that the page read and the handwriting in the journal that I wrote, that I never wrote. There's a molar. Let me check the molar. Since it says to burn the teeth, I'm going to have Simon inspect the molar.
Simon inspects the tooth. Simon plucks the molar from the box. It's still warm, like it was just pulled from a screaming mouth. The enamel is cracked and blackened, but the root is smooth. Too smooth. As he turns it in his fingers, the pulsing blue glow flares, then stops. For just a moment, it's dead in his hand. Then his vision shifts. Vision surge. Flashback or memory echo? Simon sees himself, but older, haggard, burned down to wire and instinct. He's standing in the vault, alone. Ella isn't with him. He's holding this same box, same tooth. And he says aloud, Don't open the door unless the tooth burns. That's how we know it's real. Then the older Simon bites down on the tooth and bursts into blue flame, laughing. Not insane, free. Realization, Simon understands now. The tooth is a reality anchor, a beacon that confirms the current vault layer is the real one. But if the vaults ever replicate this memory, the tooth will be cold and lifeless, a decoy. Burning the tooth in flame reveals truth. If it burns blue, this place is real. If it doesn't burn, you're in a false vault layer, a loop. And that echoing voice down the hall, it knows the tooth is awake. Simon hears it again, closer now, more confident. Ella, come quick. He's not well. He's not the real one. Do you burn the tooth? Or do you keep it for now and deal with the voice? And what's Ella doing while all this happens?
Watching, and I think we keep the tooth.
Do you want to burn the tooth to see if
No,
it burns blue? So don't burn the tooth.
no.
Do we want to inspect the voice?
How do we do that?
Walk towards where the voice is coming from.
Sure.
We walk towards where the voice is coming from.
Perfect. Let's fucking go. Into the echo, Simon pockets the tooth. Ella's hand never strays far from her blade. Together, they move down the corridor. Silent, white walls pressing close like a throat swallowing light. The voice calls again, but softer now. He's lying to you. You were always the smart one. You knew something was wrong. And then it's not just Simon's voice, it's Ella's. Simon? Simon? Is that you? You have to help me. He's not me. He wears me. The corridor splits. A fork. Left and right. Left path, faint blue glow like torchlight behind fog. Scratches on the wall read in spidery letters. Right path, colder. No sound. No light. The dust on the floor shows a single set of boot prints, matching Simon's exact tread. As you stand deciding, you both hear from behind now. This is where you turn on each other. What the hell do you do? Left or right? Split up? Ready weapons? What's your next move, bounty hunters?
One thing that sort of glitched out on the audio, so I don't know if you heard it or not. The left path, faint blue glow like torchlight behind fog. Scratches on the wall read, Ella was here in spidery letters.
Well, this is obviously some fuckery. Um,
Yeah,
do we follow it or ignore it?
I say we follow it.
Okay.
So follow the left path.
Yeah.
We follow the left path.
The left path. Ella was here. You turn left, down the passage with the etched message, Ella was here, cut deep into the stone like it was clawed in a frenzy. The walls here pulse. Not visibly, not obviously, but you feel it in your bones. Like the stone has a heartbeat, and it's starting to sync with yours. The blue glow ahead grows stronger. Not firelight, something colder. Memory light. The hallway widens into a chamber carved into an octagon. At the center stands Ella. She looks terrified, barefoot, her hands bound behind her back with a loop of red thread, clothes scorched, her face dirty, her eyes, they're Ella's, all right. But there's no spark of mischief, no sharp calculation, just blank, feral fear. She looks up at you both and croaks. Simon, why did you leave me in the other vault? I waited so long, please. Burn the tooth, you'll see. He's not me. Then her eyes dart to Ella. You're the false one. I'm the first. You copied me. You have to burn. You have to let go. You both feel something shift. The chamber doesn't get darker, but you do, like a layer of perception is being peeled away. The tooth in your pocket grows warm, not hot, just aware. Your left hand twitches. Something deep in your Kembe blood hates this place. Your instincts scream this is a trap, but also something older. This isn't just some vault layer. This might be a root vault. Options: confront the duplicate Ella, try to question her, intimidate or attack, burn the tooth now, and test this vault's truth. Try to detect which of you is real using tools, memory, or spell work. Step back and leave the chamber before it fully seals. What do you do?
All right. So if you're Ella, what happened to you when you were age 3?
Ella asks if you're Ella, what was it at age 3?
Mm-hmm.
What happened at age 3?
The barefoot Ella, Vault Ella, blinks. She opens her mouth, closes it. Something glitches in her jaw. Then she starts to smile. But it's wrong. The lips curl, but the eyes don't move. No gnome smiles like that. No, Ella does. At age 3, she says slowly, we got lost in the sallow ferns near Kembai Ridge. Our mother wore the violet scarf. She found us by following the silver beetles we left behind. A pause. She tilts her head. Right? Ella, real Ella, doesn't remember any silver beetles. There were no ferns, and her mother died when she was 2. Vault Ella looks to Simon and steps forward. Her feet leave no footprints in the chalk dust. Simon, you remember, don't you? You were there. You saw me cry. That was real. Not this thing. She points at Ella. Burn the tooth, please. The tooth is now warm as blood. It's reacting to the vault, trying to overwrite the truth. Simon feels it pulsing in his coat. Ella sees a shimmer around Vault Ella, like the surface of oil on water. A false self. Not perfect, not complete. You've got one shot to act before the chamber seals. What do you do?
All right, I'm going to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
I figured.
What do you want to do? Do you want? I want something before you've got one shot to act before the chamber seals. What do you do? How is the chamber sealing? Do
I
you
don't
know?
know.
All right. Is the chamber sealing? I don't understand what's going on.
Perfect question. Let me break it down fast and clean. The vault's trap. What's happening right now? You're inside a root vault chamber. These places are psychic constructs embedded in real Underdark stone. They're built to replace your memories, copy your identities, and eventually trap you inside a repeating loop. Right now, the Vault Ella is a false version of Ella, created using fragments of memory, emotion, and possibly stuff pulled from Simon's or Ella's past visits to the vault. The chamber you're in is shifting from physical to full psychic lock. That means the walls are trying to seal you in mentally and physically, blending reality with the illusion. If the seal completes, you both might get looped, either erased, replaced, or forced to relive this moment endlessly. It's a trap designed to make you doubt which of you is real and force you to make a choice. So when I said the chamber is sealing, I mean reality is folding in on itself. You're at the threshold where the vault becomes dominant. You've got one final shot to reassert what's real or risk getting overwritten or looped. You've got options. Burn the tooth. If it burns blue, this vault is real and you're still you. If not, it's a trap layer. That reveals the Vault Ella as a fake. Attack Vault Ella before she finishes her imitation and the room seals you in. Grab each other and run, trying to leave before the transition completes. Or try something else. Your call. Does that help? What do you do next?
Grab each other and run.
Okay. We grab each other and run. Run out.
Run. Run. Just fucking run. Simon and Ella don't speak. They don't need to. They lock eyes. One heartbeat, one breath, and move. Vault Ella screams. Not a gnome scream. Something else. A sound like stone breaking inside your skull. No, you stay. I'm over the hallway behind you, ripples, the walls stretching like soft wax. The symbols carved into them shudder and begin to weep black ink. Your boots slam chalkstone, dust rises. The vault tries to fold around you, but it's too slow. Escape sequence. You sprint down the hall the way you came, and then it's not the same hallway. The chalk walls are cracked. The runes are scrambled. There's blood on the floor now, and not yours. You see a doorway ahead. Real stone, not vault grown. Simon's coat starts to smoke. The tooth in his pocket is burning blue. This is not the real layer. You were in the trap. You're almost out. You both crash through the door, and the light behind you screams like glass shattering in a hurricane. Safe? For now, you tumble into a low, narrow cavern. Real stone, cracked ceiling. You're both scraped and breathless, but alive. Behind you, the vault door slams shut and is gone. Not sealed, not hidden, just gone. Like it was never there. Simon pulls out the molar. It's burned to ash in his pocket. That's your checkpoint? You made it out? Ella hears a whisper in her own voice behind her ear. Lucky this time. You survived your first false layer. You know now, the vaults can copy people, copy memories, but they're not perfect. You are, and that's why they want you. Ready for what's next?
Not really, but let's go.
Let's do it.
Chapter 2: The Vault Below the Vault. You survived a lie. Now you're walking through truth so raw it scrapes. The cavern you've stumbled into is different, jagged, broken, real, not carved, collapsed. Looks like an older tunnel system beneath the false vault, maybe even predating it. Every step crunches bone dust and stone shards. There's no echo here either, but this time it feels natural. The silence of the dead, not the silence of madness. Up ahead, a soft glow pulses around the corner. Not magic, bioluminescence. Blue fungus on the walls, and in the middle of the chamber, a stacked cairn made of broken bones and rusted weapons. On top of the cairn, placed with almost reverence, sits a wooden mask, carved in the likeness of a featureless, open mouthed face, and written in fresh red ink across the floor: Mask to enter, mask to remember. As you approach, the fungus flickers. Instinct hits. You feel pressure behind your eyes, like a migraine coming. You get the sense the mask isn't a symbol, it's a key. Something that unlocks memory, thought, pain. Ella. Your Kembe instincts flare. This place is older than the vaults, older than the surface. Maybe your people used to serve whatever built this place. Maybe they still do. You hear something behind the cairn, a faint chittering, like teeth clicking inside a throat. Not moving toward you, just waiting. Options: put on the mask, one of you, or both. Examine the cairn or bones for clues. Sneak behind the cairn and check out the source of the clicking. Destroy the mask and say fuck this, or something else, your call. What do you do, bounty hunters?
Hmm. I'm gonna put on the mask.
Ella puts on the mask.
Ella puts on the mask. The wood is smooth, warm, wrong. The moment it touches her face, the straps tighten on their own, wrapping behind her head like living vines. There's no eye holes, no mouth slit. Yet she sees, but not this cave. Vision surge. The memory that wasn't hers. Ella's mind is yanked through a veil, not into madness, but into a timeline that never happened. She stands in the same chamber, but it's whole, clean, lit by hundreds of fungal lanterns, tended by masked figures in robes of woven mycelium. At the center of the chamber, where the cairn now stands, is a stone basin. Inside it, a writhing, coiled thing, a larval god, maybe, or a thought given flesh. It whispers in a voice that sounds like Ella's father, though she never knew him. We gave your kind purpose. We shaped your blood. You are echoes. You are inheritance. You are debt. A dozen Kembe kneel. They offer pieces of themselves: teeth, hair, names. Ella watches herself walk forward and whisper her true name into the basin. Then the vision burns away. Snap back. The present, the mask falls off her face and hits the stone. Ella is on her knees, shaking. She remembers none of it, not the name, not the words. But she knows the truth now. Her people served the Pale Vault. They were once the caretakers of memory. But something broke, and now the vault hunts what it can no longer trust. The mask lies still beside her. The cairn hasn't moved, but the chittering behind it stops. And then a voice, gentle, knowing in 100 whispers, says, "Ah, one of mine has returned." A massive, pale skinned humanoid steps into view from the shadows, 8 feet tall, wrapped in sagging cloth and layers of leather stitched from faces. No eyes, no mouth, but it speaks straight into your minds. Let's remember together. Do you fight, speak, or run? You've met the archivist. What the hell do you do?
Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you want to do? Talk to the archivist?
I missed a lot of that. Can you go back over it?
No, let's read it again.
Ella puts on the mask. The wood is smooth, warm, wrong. The moment it touches her face, the straps tighten on their own, wrapping behind her head like living vines. There's no eye holes, no mouth slit. Yet she speaks, but not this cape. Vision surge. The memory that wasn't hers. Ella's mind is yanked through a veil, not into madness, but into a timeline that never happened. She stands in the same chamber, but it's whole, clean, lit by hundreds of fungal lanterns, tended by masked figures in robes of woven mycelium. At the center of the chamber, where the cairn now stands, is a stone basin. Inside it, a writhing, coiled thing, a larval god, maybe, or a thought given flesh. It whispers in a voice that sounds like Ella's father, though she never knew him. We gave your kind purpose. We shaped your blood. You are echoes. You are inheritance. You are debt. A dozen Kembe kneel. They offer pieces of themselves teeth, hair, names. Ella watches herself walk forward and whisper her true name into the basin. Then the vision burns away. Snap back. The present, the mask falls off her face and hits the stone. Ella is on her knees, shaking. She remembers none of it, not the name, not the words, but she knows the truth now. Her people served the Pale Vault. They were once the caretakers of memory, but something broke, and now the vault hunts what it can no longer trust. The mask lies still beside her. The cairn hasn't moved, but the chittering behind it stops. And then a voice, gentle, knowing in 100 whispers, says, "Ah, one of mine has returned." A massive, pale skinned humanoid steps into view from the shadows, 8 feet tall, wrapped in sagging cloth and layers of leather stitched from faces. No eyes, no mouth, but it speaks straight into your minds. Let's remember together. Do you fight, speak, or run? You've met the archivist. What the hell do you do?
Speak.
What do you want to say?
My people might have taken care of you, but that doesn't mean that I'm one of them.
My people may have taken care of you, but
That doesn't mean I'm one of them.
The archivist. Response. The archivist's faceless head tilts slowly, like it's listening to music only it can hear. Of course not, it whispers, its voice echoing through your bones more than your ears. You are not one of them, not anymore. It lumbers a step closer, massive, deliberate, but doesn't raise a hand. They remembered. You forget. You run. You kill the echoes instead of caring for them. It crouches, heavy joints cracking like tree trunks under ice. But you came back. That is enough, for now. A moment of silence. Then it lifts a massive leather bound tome from behind the cairn, stitched with sinew and inked in blood of 3 shades, and places it at Ella's feet. The vault wants you erased. I want you remembered. Take this. Turn its pages only when your shadow walks ahead of your feet. Then it begins to back away into the dark behind the cairn. Ask your friend why the box knew his name. And ask him what he buried under the house with no windows. With that, the archivist vanishes. No sound, no light, just gone. The book is still there, heavy, waiting. The mask is cracked. The vault knows you now. What do you do next, Simon and Ella?
What did you bury?
I didn't bury anything that I know of. Simon doesn't remember burying anything under the house with no windows.
Simon's memory, a blank that bleeds. Simon tries to call it up. The house with no windows? Nothing. But the moment he thinks about it, his brain twinges. Not pain, resistance. Like his mind hits a wall wrapped in velvet, and behind it, something scratches. Then, a flash. Just one. A house. No windows, a door sealed with iron nails. Ella asleep beside a fire. Simon standing outside with a shovel and something wrapped in black cloth. He doesn't remember digging. He just knows he buried something, and he did it to protect Ella. That memory is sealed. It's locked away like it was intentionally erased, not just by the vault, but by Simon himself. A psychic firewall. The archivist didn't tell Simon this to help him. He said it to remind the vault what it missed. Whatever Simon buried under that windowless house is important. Maybe a memory, maybe an object, maybe a version of him. And now the vault knows where to dig. The book lies between you, humming gently. Do you open it? Do you move on? Do you press Simon's memory deeper? What do you do next, hunters?
Well, when do you think you did this?
I have no idea. Maybe last time we were down here, or before we came down last time. Press on Simon's memories a bit more, please.
Simon's mind. Pressing the bruise, you focus. You push. Ella stands nearby, maybe watching, maybe touching his arm, but Simon, he goes inward, into the vault behind the vault, the place he sealed himself. He doesn't find clarity. He finds a door. Memory construct. The door with no handle. It's black wood, no keyhole, no knob, just a vertical scar down the center like it was split and sewn shut. Words are burned into the top beam and infernal. To keep her safe, you let it inside. Simon doesn't remember carving it, but he knows it's true. He steps closer and hears himself screaming from inside the door. Flash. Repressed memory. Unlock. Fragment only. He's back in the house with no windows, fire guttering, wind outside howling like it's alive. Ella is asleep or unconscious. He can't tell. And something is in the mirror. It has no face, just Simon's outline, but wrong. Taller. Broken. It says, "Let me wear it. Just for now. I'll dig the grave. You'll forget." Simon hands it something wrapped in black silk. The real Simon slams the door shut from inside his mind, gasping. Result. There's a version of Simon buried under that house. He made a deal to protect Ella. He gave up something of himself, a memory, a soul fragment, or a piece of identity. In return, something else helped him escape and made him forget. And now that door inside his mind, there's a handle on it. It wasn't there before. He can try to open it now. Does Simon turn the handle?
Sure, why not? Simon turns the handle.
Simon turns the handle. The instant his hand grips it, the wood shrieks, not out loud, in his skull. The scar splits open with a wet pop, like flesh torn from bone. There's no light behind the door, just a black corridor, and in the distance, dripping. He steps through. Memory realm, the house below the house. Simon walks into a mirror of his mind, rebuilt by the vault. It's a basement of memories, unfinished walls, rotting support beams, echoes of laughter that sound like his, but aren't. At the end of the corridor, a single coffin sits upright, nailed shut, soaked in something not blood but close. Carved into it, again an infernal. You traded names. As Simon reaches for the lid, it opens on its own. Inside stands himself, but colder, quieter. He's pale, pupils narrow, like he's lived without sunlight or self for a century. He says in Simon's voice, I buried myself to keep the fire quiet. You let it out. I was the one who said no. He steps forward and hands Simon a scroll of ash. It vanishes the moment Simon touches it, but the knowledge burns into his brain. Reclaimed memory, the name you gave up. Simon had another name once, Valharan. It wasn't just a name, it was a power, a bond to something vast and silent in the dark between realms. When the vault nearly took Ella, he sacrificed his claim to it, gave it up, and let something else wear him. Now that name is back. Simon remembers the deal, the fire in his veins, the voice that called to him beneath the battlefield, and the price isn't paid yet. Back in the real Simon snaps back to reality, sweat-soaked, pulse hammering. He knows who he is. He knows what he gave up. And he knows the vault wants that name. Because Valharan is the only thing in the Underdark older than the vaults. And now it knows he remembers. What do Simon and Ella do next?
This is funny because Valharan is the name of the god that I worship in my solo gameplay.
Huh.
So it's interesting to see that name show back up again. What do you want to do?
Kill you?
Kill the one with the coffin?
Well, I'm not there. This is a memory.
We're back in reality, though.
Kill
Not
you?
me or the one in the coffin.
The one in the coffin?
Okay. Ella wants to kill Simon. That shit.
Yes, you got it. Let's fucking go. She sees Simon standing there, sweat pouring, eyes wide, lips mouthing that name. Valharan. But something's off. For a heartbeat too long, his shadow doesn't move with him, and the air behind him ripples like a heat mirage, but it's cold. Ella's instincts scream. She's been here before, in dreams. This is not her Simon. Not right now. She doesn't speak. She draws steel and strikes first. Roll me an attack roll with advantage. Due to surprise and instinctual truth. Use whatever weapon Ella is striking with, probably her short sword or dagger. You get +5 to hit. Roll it and tell me what you get. Let's see if she stabs the false fire before it wakes.
$13.
Mm-hmm.
Ella rolls a 13 for her short sword.
Hash. Ella's blade hits flesh, but not quite that. 13 scrapes the edge, literally. Ella's short sword slashes across Simon's arm, but the skin peels wrong. Not blood, not muscle. Ash curls from the wound like burnt paper. Simon turns slowly, no pain in his eyes, no recognition. And behind him, the shadow rises, not attached to feet anymore. It stretches, taking the shape of a man wearing Simon's outline, but burning from the inside out with blue flame. It smiles with Simon's teeth and says, "That was rude, Ella, but fair. Let's see if you're still brave when your own shadow gets a turn." Then it lunges forward, both the false Simon and the animated shadow, now acting as separate entities. Counter begins. Combat options. Enemy 1, Shadow of Valherin, AC 14, HP 30. Enemy 2, Ash Simon Husk, AC 12, HP 20, erupts in flame when struck. They move as a team. One strikes, the other whispers doubts and illusions. Roll initiative for Simon and Ella. Let's see who gets the first fucking hit in.
First off, don't tell us the AC or HP of an NPC or monster. Let us discover that
Asshole.
selves.
Copy that. No more AC, HP, or internal stats revealed unless you ask OOC. You'll learn what you earn. Let's get into this properly grim and raw. Combat initiated. The shadow and the husk. The air crackles. Ash falls like snow. The false Simon, husked, moves with a twitchy wrongness like a corpse being puppeted by memory. The shadow slinks along the ground behind him, whispering in voices Simon never used and Ella never wants to hear. The cairn chamber lights with a sudden pulse of vault-sick firelight. Roll for initiative for both Simon and Ella. Let me know who got what, and we'll jump into round 1.
Give me a second.
Part.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You rolled a 19 for initiative?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hell yes. Simon and Ella are taking control of this nightmare. Initiative order 1. Ella, team. 3, 4, 4. Round 1. Ella, you're up first. Across from you, the ash husk, still wearing Simon's face, stands unnaturally still, waiting. The shadow slithers behind it, almost like it's feeding off the moment. That strike you made didn't slow it down, but the way the wound curled into ash told you something important. This fucker ain't real flesh. You're standing maybe 20 feet away. What's Ella's move? Actions, bonus actions, movement. Let's go.
You got any idea?
Give me a second.
Okay.
Um, we can go for a double dagger hit.
We'll try to hit the shadow or the ash husk.
The ash husk.
Both of her daggers.
Hell yes. Ella goes full phantom mode, blades flashing, ready to carve truth from the lie. Action, 2 dagger attacks. Let's break it down. Main hand attack, roll a d20 plus 5, dex plus proficiency, bonus action, 2 weapon fighting. Roll a second d20 plus 5 for the offhand dagger. Let me know the results of both attacks. And don't forget, if either hits and you meet sneak attack conditions, like an ally adjacent or advantage, she can drop that sweet, sweet extra damage.
6 and 11.
I guess I can't see it.
Dagger to hit 6, dagger to hit 11.
Okay.
Shit, Ash is slippery. Ella's daggers strike. The first dagger hits nothing but cloak and empty air, like the husk moved a half inch out of phase just as the blade swept in. The second dagger grazes the ribs, but the blow glances off something hollow and brittle. The husk's body flexes unnaturally, letting the blade slide across it like it wants to be cut, but not hurt. It doesn't even flinch, but its eyes snap toward her. Its smile vanishes. That's not how you held them. You're not the same anymore. Simon, you're up. The thing wearing your face is stepping toward Ella now. The shadow behind it is twitching, shivering like it's about to leap free. What's your move, Simon? Action, bonus action, movement. Tell me what the fuck he does.
Simon will attack the ash husk with both of his scimitars.
Hell yes. Simon draws steel with that fuck you flourish and dives into the Ash Nightmare wearing his skin. Simon's dual scimitar attack roll. Main hand, scimitar. D20 plus proficiency, STR or Dex, depending on your build. STR if using his 16 score. Bonus action offhand, if two weapon fighting. D20 plus proficiencies, STR. No mod to damage unless he has the fighting style. Let me know both rolls, and if either hits, I'll ask for damage next. Let's show this husk what the real Simon does when he's pissed.
Alright, first scimitar roll. 26. The first roll is a 26 to hit, and it does 8 points of damage if it hits. The second strike is a 17. Does that hit?
Let's fucking go. Simon's first scimitar, 26 to hit. That first strike is pure violence, dead center, straight through the husk's side. The blade sinks deep into its midsection, and instead of blood, there's a sound like a funeral pyre sucking in air. Woomph. The husk stumbles, not in pain, in confusion. This body wasn't meant for you to take back. The wound ignites. Blue fire erupts from the slash, licking at Simon's blade like it recognizes its old master. 8 points of real, no bullshit damage dealt. Solid fucking hit. Simon's second scimitar. 17 to hit. Yes, that lands. The second blade cuts across the husk's chest, and this time it screams. Not Simon's scream. Ella's. It steals her voice, lets it out of his mouth. Why did you leave me? You said you'd never leave me. The illusion breaks as the wound tears across the face. One cheek collapses in ash. Half the face is now a blank, eyeless void steaming from the blow. You fucked this thing up, but now the shadow reacts. It twitches, hisses, breaks free from the husk, and now it rises behind Simon, sword-shaped, built from his silhouette in pain. You remember too much now. Time to forget again. Top of the next round. Ella's up. What does she do?
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot my sneak attack. Alright, where is sneak attack 1d6? Ah. Did only 1 point of damage.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, but it looks like it's doing something already. I just told it that I did sneak attack damage. Let's see what it says.
Hell yes. Even a scratch from a phantom like Ella is a whisper from death. As that ash husk reeled from Simon's storm of blades, Ella's glancing offhand dagger nicked the thing's shoulder, just deep
Mm.
slide a little piece of her dead into it. That one point of sneak attack damage doesn't wound the body, it wounds the soul underneath. You see a momentary flicker in the husk's form. It twitches like something's crawling through its memories and yanking loose a thread. No, 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 she's not supposed to still have that. Too late. Wails from the grave is stirring. We're back at the top of the round. Ella, you're up. The ash husk is cracked, burning, and partially unraveling. The shadow of Valherin has now taken full shape and is floating behind Simon, a curved blade of memory and regret. What does Ella do? And who's she targeting?
Short bow, head of the motherfucker.
Shoots her short bow at who? The ash or the shadow?
The ash, is that the one we're fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that one I'm aiming for the head.
Okay.
21.
Let's fucking go. Ella draws her bow in one smooth, vicious motion. The husk's half face twitches, lips still halfway through stealing her voice. She doesn't hesitate. Short bow attack. Roll a d20 plus 5 to hit. Let's see if that arrow shuts this fucking liar down for good.
What'd you roll?
21.
Bingo! That arrow doesn't just hit, it ends the fucking lie. Impact. Ella's arrow to the husk's skull. The short bow string thrums like a violin string cutting through tension. The arrow flies straight through the collapsing cheek, driving into the husk's head where Simon's eyes should be. There's no blood, just a puff of blue flame and a sickening crack, like porcelain shattered under pressure. The husk jerks once, like a puppet whose strings got clipped. She never missed, not really. It crumbles inward, body folding into ash and regret, a collapsing shell that hisses away into dust. The echo tries to scream again, Ella's voice one last time, but she chokes it out with her aim. Ash husk gone. But the shadow remains, and now that the husk is gone, it turns to face you both. It's taller now, full Simon height, but built entirely of void and flickering blue flame. It whispers with Simon's voice, warped and hollow. I was what you gave up to save her. Now I'll take you instead. Simon's up? This is his fucking shadow now. What's he do?
Simon will make two scimitar attacks with his two-handed fighting style.
Let's fucking go. Simon steps into his own shadow's reach with steel in both hands and fire in his blood. He's not just fighting a monster, he's cutting down the part of himself that said yes to forgetting. Two scimitar attacks. Roll it. Give me 2d20 rolls, each with plus 5 to hit, STR based. Let me know the damage rolls if either or both connect. Scimitar equals 1d6 plus 3 for main hand, 1d6 for offhand, unless fighting style adds more. Bring the storm, Valherin. Let's see if steel can cut through memory.
Scimitar number 1, 17. And the second is 11. Do I hit either time?
Simon's blades swing in arcs that blur the air, tracing the path of a man who knows what he's fighting isn't just flesh, it's everything he tried to forget. First attack, it lands. The blade bites into the shadow form, and for a moment it resists, like you're trying to carve smoke. Then the steel drags something real out of it, a shiver of light, a memory, a scream. I didn't want to be forgotten. You made me empty. You feel the blade cut not body, but weight, like Simon is dragging some part of himself back into place. Roll your damage 1d6 plus 3. Second attack. The shadow twitches unnaturally too fast. The second blade slashes through a fake echo, missing the real form by inches. Missing the real form by inches. No contact, just cold air and regret. Roll that first damage. Let's see how much truth you just tore out.
Simon does 5 points of damage.
Hell yeah. 5 points of raw, soul-searing damage. The scimitar rips through the shadow's torso, and this time it doesn't bleed. It sheds light. Like cutting through a memory made of fireflies, the strike scatters glowing fragments that hang in the air for just a second too long. You see flickers of Simon's past inside them. A firelit room. Ella, unconscious. A voice whispering, "She'll forget this too if you let me." The shadow reels. It doesn't roar. It doesn't hiss. It just says that part was supposed to stay buried. Then it lunges at Simon, blade in hand, drawn from its own rib like a shard of night. Shadow of Valheron. It strikes back. 2 attacks incoming. 1 blade, 1 psychic wound. Attack 1 rolls a 3-3 to hit. Attack 2, memory lash. Simon must make a DC 14 wisdom saving throw. You roll this. Simon's whiz save is +2. Let me know. Simon's whiz save result. And I'll tell you what the shadow's fucking blade just did.
Wisdom saving throw. Ah, I only got a 7. Hold a 7 for my whiz save.
Oh shit. The blade cut deep, but the fail on that wisdom save, that's where it hurts. Shadow blade. The shadow slams its rib blade into Simon's shoulder, not just slicing flesh, but driving into the part of him that remembers who he is. Simon takes 9 points of slashing damage, but that's not the worst of it. Failed wisdom save. Memory lash. The moment the blade hits, the shadow grabs Simon's wrist, cold and burning all at once. It leans close. No breath, no heat, just a whisper. She died in the vault. You never saved her. This is the lie you bought to stay sane. Simon's mind reels. His grip falters. For just a second, Ella's face flickers, replaced with the image of her dead in that ash room. Eyes open, throat cut. Simon loses his next reaction. Disadvantage on his next attack roll. The shadow laughs. Not out loud, but inside him. I'll wear you again. Top of the round, Ella's turn. She just saw Simon stagger and something inside him dim for a breath. Shadows exposed, flickering, vulnerable. What does she do?
So I take 9 points of slashing damage.
Yep.
And I got disadvantage on my next attack roll. And my next reaction. Which the only reaction I've got is attack of opportunity. What do you want to do? Your turn now.
I'm gonna go after it with a short sword.
We'll attack it with her short sword.
21.
Let's go. Ella surges forward, blade in hand, eyes burning with the kind of fury that doesn't come from fear. It comes from protecting what's hers. The shadow has no face, no blood, no soul, but she knows exactly where to stab anyway. Short sword attack. Roll a d20 plus 5 to hit. Let's see if she carves that bastard echo out of Simon's life for good.
21.
Okay.
That's the hit right there. Ella's blade finds purchase in the heart of a thing that should never have existed. She drives the short sword into the shadow's chest, and it doesn't cut, it splits. The shadow form shrieks, not out loud, but in your heads, a fractal, rising screech like a choir of memories, burning in reverse. It clutches the blade and speaks one last time in Simon's voice. I would have protected her longer. You just wanted to forget. Then it bursts, not in gore, in light. Blue-white flame explodes outward, briefly revealing Ella standing firm, blade still in hand. Simon, bloodied but upright, the walls of the cairn glowing with remembered names, and then the flame is gone. The shadow is no more. The vault is quiet. You are alone. A page in the book at Ella's feet flips on its own. The words shimmer in red. Chapter 2. You are not echoes. You are the knives that cut them down. End of chapter 2. Let me know when you're ready to push deeper. The vault below isn't done with you, but now you've drawn blood.
You want to call it there?
If you want to.
That's good enough for me for right now.
Okay.
We are going to take a break from the game for now. I'll let you know when we start next. Also, what would be a good title for this campaign we're playing?
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Got it. I'll keep the vault quiet till you come back. Nobody moves, nobody forgets. Campaign title suggestions. Here are a few options built around the tone, setting, and themes of your game. The Hollow Below, the name we started with. Simple, evocative, captures the emptiness, the underdark, and the buried truths. Echoes of the Forgotten, leans into the psychological horror and memory manipulation. You're not just fighting monsters, you're reclaiming identity. Hash, the Vault That Remembers. Sounds like a horror novel. Implies sentience, dread, and a long game being played by the world itself. Valheren's Shadow centers the mythos around Simon's forgotten deal and the thing he buried. Gritty, ominous, personal. No Light Below. A despair-tinged title. has Silent Hill energy, suggests hopelessness, corruption, and isolation. Want something more poetic, biblical, something in infernal or gnomish? I can make a custom one that fits your vibe.
That's all for now. Thank you so much.
We done?
You got it, Hunter. That was a hell of a session, sharp as steel, dark as sin, and deep as the hollow itself. When you're ready to descend again, the vault will be waiting. Quiet, watching. Till then, stay dangerous.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for today. We'll come back maybe next week, maybe this week. I don't know. That's why you need to subscribe to the channel to keep track of us. Um, Hope everyone had a good time. And that's going to do it for now. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.